This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Very Hard to Submit. Go to vhtsny.com and check out their kimonos, compression gear, and apparel. This is a brand we are excited to be supported by. Their gear is high quality with a clean design. Go to vhtsny.com and see for yourself.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Grappler Union podcast. On this episode, we have Tom Wheeler in studio. Tom is a 4-stripe brown belt and the owner and head instructor of Olympus Jiu Jitsu. Enjoy.
I need the 6 minutes. That's what happens in that 6 minutes.
You told me using any technique that works, never to limit myself to one style. Open mind.
We're not here to take part. We're here to take over.
In order to become more peaceful, in order for you to become better and strategize your life.
I'm ready.
All right. Happy New Year, everyone. We're back.
Yeah, first podcast of the new year.
Yes. A lot of people were DMing me saying, where the fuck you been?
Well, it's good to be missed.
I guess it is. It is.
Yeah. No, like we made a conscious decision. Perhaps it was the wrong decision if people are shouting out to you and be like, "Where's my episode? I need my content." But we made a conscious decision with both of the holidays falling on a Tuesday.
Right.
To not record anything and release on those Tuesdays.
Bringing guests in, and at time the holiday is hard. Also, it's just let's just take some time off, relax. Clear out the vocal cords.
I mean, I don't know what this relaxation thing is. What are you talking about? That sounds soft to me.
Yeah, when you're coming back from Worlds as a gold winner. Yeah, what's that? What's up with that?
Yeah,
Talk about that a little bit.
Managed to do it this time. So
I know. It was awesome.
So yeah, last year.
Watching your matches.
Thank you.
A little late on one of them, but
yeah. Well, hey, thankfully, Flow lets you go back and watch that again.
Awesome.
So, last year. I went out to No-Gi Worlds, my first competition as a brown belt. Did not go it all the way I wanted it to. Was frustrated. Managed to get a bronze medal, but ultimately just because it was such a small division. Like not a result I was happy with or looking for. Didn't fight in the open. Kind of regret that, but I was so.
Wait, you're talking about last year or this year?
Yeah, last year. Sorry. 2017.
Okay. So let's get to this year.
Yeah.
Let's get to this year. Let's just get to this year. I understand.
So it was a big motivating factor to come back strong this year.
But you didn't do your division this year, did you?
No, I didn't. I wanted to.
You went up.
Yeah, I had to go up a division, or I had to go down. I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 age brackets, or I had to go down an age bracket to get my weight class. So it was either stay in my age bracket but go up a weight class and basically eat whatever I want, or be super disciplined with my diet as always, fight younger guys and stay in weight class instead of age class. So I opted for what turned out being an easier solution for me. So I weighed in. Well, what's the weight limit for feather? It's 154, 155-ish.
Something like
that. I
that.
can't remember what it is in no-gi. I think it's 159 with the gi on. So I think it's one. Yeah. So and I weighed in at like 143 or something like that. So still managed to be really tiny. But had two real good matches. Had an actual full division.
Yeah.
And managed to win my first one in pretty good time. I think it was under a minute victory by crucifix. One of my favorite
positions. That second one was a little bit of a nail biter.
Oh yeah, no, it really was. Like I was. It was the finals. I don't want to say nervous, but I was like, don't mess up this time.
I know. I can tell you were more like that.
So I had watched his previous match against, and the other guy he fought against was like really a tall dude for the division, and I saw him. He had a killer guard. And I'm like, oh man, this guy's gonna be a rough dude to pass. Like he's obviously got such great guard retention and whatnot. And I saw him the other guy had gone for like a footlock grip, and immediately the guy like came up and swept. I'm like, okay, that's also dangerous. So I have to time that perfectly if I'm going to go for it.
But I thought I saw you hesitate. I saw you think about footlock.
Oh yeah, no, I reached for it.
I saw it. I'm like, is he going to go for it?
Yeah,
is he going to go for it?
And at that point, I'm like, I don't have a score on the board. So if I get swapped,
exactly,
like it's too late in the round already.
Too late.
That's the loss if I don't submit him. So I played it way more cautious than I would normally. And
you won. That's awesome.
Pulled it off.
Good game plan.
Pulled it off. And then, to be clear, I got slaughtered in the open.
Did you?
Oh God.
Oh no.
So I promised myself, because like I said, the year prior, I was like, no, I'm done with this shit. I want to just go to Disneyland and hang out with my family and eat all the food. I'm not waiting till like 7 o'clock to go do the open. Yeah. But this year, I promised myself I was going to do it, specifically because I didn't last year, and I do enjoy it, and I wanted more matches.
Yeah.
So I wander over to because they keep the computer to sign up for it for Nogi Worlds. They keep it like right next to the awards platform and whatnot. And I'm like, hey, who's in Masters 4 Brown Belt Open?
4? Or am I 3?
4, yeah, 4 now. I'm 41. That's 4, right? Am I
3?
Or is that 3? Okay,
3.
Whatever age bracket I am. Sorry. So do we have guys signed up for it basically? Right. And she's like, oh yeah, there's like 3 other guys. We got like a lightweight and 2 heavyweights. I'm like, of course heavyweights. But yeah, I'm like, throw my name in, no problem.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the day, we had like 7 or 8 guys in, and that lightweight was the only other guy that was under heavyweight.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I didn't get him as the first draw.
What'd you get?
I got a heavyweight who I'd already decided. I'm like, like I didn't get to leg lock anyone today. I'm gonna try and get a leg lock on one of these heavyweights. And he walks in and the earth shakes.
Yeah.
And he takes off his sweats, and I see brown belt ranked shorts, Henzo Gracie Academy. Oh, yeah. I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah.
And then I see Gordon Ryan's in his corner coaching him.
Oh,
beautiful.
Yeah, and Silver Fox. They're both there, but Gordon's doing most of the coaching. And I'm just like, well, that whole strategy's probably right out the window.
Why? You want to compare? Come on, man.
With a dude that big, who's one of Gordon's training partners, probably seen every leg lock trick that I know.
I have faith in you, Javi.
Well,
so how'd it go?
It did not go well.
Did you get leg locked?
No, I didn't. I didn't. I did get crushed. He actually arm locked me. Okay. And then
Kimura,
Americana from like scarf with his legs. So a lot of meat in that grip. He was doing some really cool stuff too. Like I can't really explain it on air, but some stuff that I had worked with other guys, not Henzo guys either, but other guys. It was like very related technique with the way he was gripping and controlling and whatnot.
Did you pull? I didn't see the fight.
No, I didn't pull. I perhaps because I'm an idiot. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and take this guy down because he's not going to expect that.
Okay,
right, that's true.
Yeah, like surprise, motherfucker. Right. so I go to work a takedown, and he immediately like just drops all of his weight on me, and then I pulled.
Okay.
In that order.
Yeah. It was like, oh, he's gonna break my shoulder. I'm pulling guard. I don't have any option to like do like a sacrifice throw at this point.
Right.
But yeah, so the whole rest of the fight was me trying not to get my guard passed as he tried to use all of his weight and power on me as he should.
Yeah. Did
some very, very interesting gripping, got around, got to scarf, got my arm as I was like trying to work an escape because I don't want to be crushed by this big guy in scarf.
Yeah. Right.
And like crazily enough, I in my mind, the time was like dilated. I was like, oh, he's got his 3 points already. I need to get out of here.
Yeah.
Like he could just stall out the whole rest of the match. And then I looked back on it in the video and I'm like, oh, the ref hadn't even awarded the 3 points. And I was already like, oh, spaz out, get out of here, desperately before he settles in. And that's where my arm got caught. And I'm like, nope, done.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But no, it was a good experience. And then to make me feel better about myself, so he double silvered. And then like he got back to New York and Danaher gave him his black belt.
Get out.
Wow.
So that guy's kind of good.
Yeah.
That's awesome though.
Yeah.
That's really good.
But
Killer experience too.
It was a great experience. If I had to pick a world championship to go to for all the stuff that happened, apparently that was it. Let's see, other stuff that occurred. There was obviously a lot of drama between Gordon and Cyborg, ultimately leading to Cyborg.
Did you watch that?
Yeah. Not only did I watch it, but so my exact sense of direction is off, but like that was happening across the arena from me. Okay, the finals matches for the black belts happen in the big. The big, like if you look at the way No-Gi Worlds is, it's like a whole bunch of normal size mats. Then the black belts get an extra large mat. Okay, and they had
We're in
two
the
spots.
play.
I think it was like 9 and 5 or something like that were the numbers. So I'm sitting closer to like 5, and he's on mat 9 with Cyborg. And first of all, other than when like not all Brazilians, but like the people that are on Cyborg's side. Other when they're like cheering wildly, there's actually kind of a hush over the crowd for a lot of it.
Okay, yeah.
So when Cyborg slapped him, I literally heard it across the arena. That's how loud it was. So yeah, I had a not quite front row seat for that, and then I had a literal front row seat for the brawl between. Well, not even fair to call it a brawl. But yeah, between Flavio Almeida and Ralph Gracie.
Oh man.
What happened with that?
Yeah.
So I don't know the real backstory. I've
I thought there
heard
was something on Flow about it.
right. I've heard
I didn't
I've heard
read
the
it,
same rumors and speculation that the rest of the
Little.
internet is exposed to.
What was that? I didn't even know. About
Okay, so again, unsubstantiated rumor.
Just a Cliff Notes version.
Right. Basically, Ralph is old school. Allegedly, the promises were made that there would never be a Gracie Baja opened up in his territory, which is, parts of San Francisco. Okay. To be clear, there are plenty of other jiu-jitsu gyms in his general vicinity, but there aren't other Gracie named gyms. So I think that's the main sticking point there.
Okay.
But regardless, I guess the plan is now to move a Baja into that area.
Okay.
And Ralph did not appreciate that, and now there are assault charges.
Okay.
So what I saw, and like you can even like if you know to look for me, you can see me in the stands in some of the videos that have been that have been cycled around. They're not super clear, so I kind of have to point it out, but you'll definitely see me there. I thought sitting in the stands watching a match over here because it kind of happens in my periphery. I thought Ralph punched him. I had no idea that he just like straight up like elbowed him in the face. But yeah, so he drops Flavio with an elbow and like is screaming at him on the ground, and like a whole bunch of black belts because it happens in the black belt section, like right by the coaching area. A whole bunch of black belts like rush to like kind of stand in the way, stop Ralph from doing anything else. And there's like a lot of yelling, and much of it is in Portuguese, so I have no idea what's being said and whatnot. But for the most part, it's just a bunch of guys standing around being like, Ralph, stop! What the hell are you doing? And then Flavio is on the ground, like not unconscious. Like that's been circled heavily that he was unconscious. No, he was not unconscious. He may have been completely rattled, don't get me wrong, but he wasn't like blacked out or anything. And I know this because Ralph then went to kick him in the face, and he threw his hands up and covered up, fortunately, because it probably would have been a lot worse if he hadn't.
Wow.
And yeah, then it gets really weird because like security, like this is gonna sound so strange, but the security guy who happened to be there, okay, is kind of a slightly overweight older gentleman with only one arm. Okay. So I know that sounds like a weird thing the weird setup already.
Yeah.
That or that man's seen some stuff.
Right.
I don't know the circumstances under which that happened. He could be a slightly older combat vet or whatever. But yeah. So to be fair, it was definitely on the black belts that happened to be there to kind of get Ralph off, and then like more security eventually started rushing in at this point. But he'd already elbowed him. He tried to kick him in the face, failed sort of. He didn't actually clock him in the face. But then like as they're getting Ralph off of him and like starting to escort him out the door, this other older gentleman who I didn't recognize at all, I have no idea who he is, but I guess he was with Ralph, is like yelling at Flavio, who's looking just completely disoriented, mind you.
Wow.
Okay. He's like yelling at Flavio, and he slaps him in the face. Like not super hard, but like, the dude's just been elbowed in the face and just slaps and then like walks away.
Wow.
And if you listen to the versions that I've seen on the internet, and there's like 13 of them.
Yeah.
Is there that many?
There's a bunch of
and let's be also clear, like it's not like I have a recording of this to go back on. This is from my memory. I could be remembering stuff a little wrong too, I guess.
Right.
But especially once it hits the ground, I mean, you see it all on what they captured from the.
I didn't even see the video.
Oh, it's all over the place, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
easy to find if you're looking for it.
Wait, so there was actually a video of him actually doing it, or is
Oh
it
yeah, yeah.
after?
So
really?
that's the
Yeah,
thing.
full
like-
elbow.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
So they're talking, leaning up against the barricade. Okay, I didn't see any of this because, like I said, I was watching the match. I only noticed it
Right.
once the scuffle actually began. But they're like chatting on the barricade, and it looks like they're having a, I don't know, presumably friendly-ish conversation. No one seems particularly tense. Okay, and then the next thing you know, Half just hauls off and elbows him right in the face.
Wow.
So
Now,
yeah.
who is Flavio? Who is he under?
Okay, so Flavio Almeida is Ricardo Almeida's brother, but he's also one of the top dogs at Gracie Barra, and is very much, from my understanding of it, very much in charge of some of the business development and whatnot. Largely responsible for some of Baja's success and expansion in recent years. Obviously, if we talk to a Baja guy, they'll give you the inside track. This
Maybe,
is me.
maybe not.
Well, okay, they can tell you who Flavio is.
Exactly, right.
in terms of the organization.
Right.
But yeah, so that's my understanding of like his position there. As far as I know, he was just there to cheer on and coach some Baja athletes. But yeah, like the initial version of this story that I heard on the internet, and I was just like, "What the hell, world?" Was that like Flavio was surrounded by a bunch of Baja black belts. There are a ton of Baja athletes on the mat, and Half just stormed in there and just like, fuck you all, and like tries to assassinate him, talks shit on him, kicks him while he's down, and walks away. And I'm like, that's not how it happened at all.
Sounds amazing, though.
Sounds bad. Read that one. Read that story.
Yeah, and again, like I don't know what was said between the two of them, but it wasn't at all like Flavio was like, put up your dukes, we're gonna have a fight now or anything. It was like he got sucker punched basically.
He's like
Sucker
resting on
elbow.
the rail. Right?
Yeah, his hands were. I mean, he was like on his elbows on the rail and whatnot.
crazy.
Yeah,
Man. But
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think that does for like Half Gracie's stock? Does he think that's
well, it depends on who you ask, because I've seen a lot of, like, I don't want to name names right now, but I've seen a lot of people, because he's still posting on social media and stuff. I've seen people publicly supporting what he did.
yeah?
Basically treating it like, like Flavio has done something wrong and you did the right thing by doing that. And then I've seen tons and tons of people also condemning it because it's a pretty thug thing to do.
It is.
and
It is.
not
It is a very thug thing to do, and I don't know if it's really. I just think that nowadays, that kind of stuff gets a little silly.
Well,
it's
above
just-
and beyond the fact that it was in a public venue with a lot of witnesses and on camera.
That in and of itself, I mean, yeah, it is a very thug thing to do. And did he have a right to do it? Absolutely not. You should never put your hands on anybody at all at any time, especially when you weren't being attacked. And that's where jiu-jitsu, we all stem from this background of martial arts, and that's not a martial artist. That's not something you do when your life is not being threatened. You don't put your hands on someone for just when you're mad. That's childish to me.
I would say generally correct, but I'd also say that we come from we train in an art that was started by people well known for their dojo storming.
Yes.
not all of which was perhaps the most honorable of conduct. So there is that element as well.
But I don't know, man. It's a tough one because I don't know, man. It just seems like let's get past this stuff.
Right.
It seems a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
What are we teaching our kids?
Right. Here's my take on it. My grand
Not that I
take.
have kids,
Right, but if you did,
if I did,
what would you be
I
teaching them?
them?
Yeah. And I've given this a lot of thought. Ultimately, where I stand is I don't know what, in my mind, Flavio could have done that would have deserved that. Deserved. Big air quotes on deserved.
Right.
Okay. Like, again, because it wasn't a fight. It's not like Half went in there and was like, you, me, outside now.
Right.
Okay.
It was a conversation, and then sucker
it was a
punch.
sucker elbow.
Elbow, right.
So yeah, like I don't know what I could possibly say about Flavio that would make me think, oh yeah, that dude deserved that. Right. Okay, I literally don't know where I would be. So I'm very much in the whatever's going on between them, whatever the backstory is, and I've heard some interesting rumors. Okay, I don't know that anything that I've heard could come close. Like, yeah, it could come close to deserving that.
Yeah, for that reasoning.
Right.
Yeah. Well, hopefully everything works out for the best for both of them.
I don't think it's gonna. I really don't.
They always say there's no such thing as bad press, I guess. So,
Yeah. But again, like that's the weird thing. Like I could show you some stuff. Like the way that people have like rallied around health and been like, fuck that guy. He's a snake. He's a traitor. This, that, and the other thing.
Gracie Baja's pretty big.
Gracie Baja is pretty big, but it's not like health and Henzo's side of the family is small.
Not at all.
true, yeah.
Not at all.
And again, not everyone is universally supporting on either side, I imagine. Yeah, maybe we should get a Baja guy in here and we discuss.
We've had
more.
We should get
Additional.
more. Yes. We were supposed to, actually. We got some guys on the list. Tom Wheeler. How's it
Hello.
going, man?
How's it going, guys?
Welcome.
It's pretty cool here, man. Nice layout.
Like the spot.
How's it going, man?
Very good. I'm glad. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad to have you, man. No, we definitely like we make it an active mission. A mission. It should be like up on the wall as the mission saying. We like to have guys on that are school owners, are doing stuff within the community, and I personally like to have guys on that have like a nice diverse background, and man, you're really broadening the grappling horizons at your gym.
Oh, big time. Big time. I think that's, I met you when you competed against one of our students. And
Yeah, that was Naga, right?
yeah,
I think.
Yeah. And I noticed like we've been open about 4.5 years. Okay. And we don't have like a big competition team. We have some guys that compete here and there. And I just, you're there all day as a coach. And I noticed white belt through black belt, this was about 2 years ago. I noticed the takedowns, all the matches start on the feet, a real self-defense scenario, you start on your feet. The takedowns, if anybody got it, was like a haphazard. There was no setups. There was no anything. I knew I had no background in it at the point.
Right.
It was just Brazilian Jiu Jitsu for me at that point. And there was no focus of that aspect of it. So I just started like, man, this is a problem,
Right.
And plus, I figure I'll help my students out have advantages going into competitions, knowing how to start on their feet.
Right.
Besides just even guys pulling guard, it was all different schools, all over the place. Now it's changed a little bit more over the years, but I started really diving into judo, and then once you start going down the rabbit hole, I learned.
stop.
So sambo, and then we have a mutual friend, Vlad Kulikov, who we're, I guess, quote unquote, it's like an affiliation with now. We have this Sambo Fusion program we apply, which basically for like the past 2 years I've been applying it, most of his stuff anyways.
Right,
but
right. It was a perfect match.
It was perfect. We had him out this past August, and he's super, super awesome guy. Very technical, and it's just great seeing guys who just love to, you can tell they love to do what they do.
Yeah.
And that's filtered out to all my guys to a point now, like it's kind of weird not wearing Sambo shoes and teaching.
If I could convince more jiu-jitsu gyms that's really healthy, it'd be awesome. But yeah, like so many guys are just like, no, tradition, like we walk around barefoot, that's the thing.
Right.
I mean, I'd love it if judo adopted that. I'd love it if jiu-jitsu adopted that. It's way safer.
The Sambo shoe?
Yeah, because it's safer for your feet. Like just overall, like I wouldn't, that grievous toe injury I got would have just never happened if I had been
and
wearing my Sambo shoes.
The suede bottom, you don't have that gripping a wrestling shoe does.
Right, so you don't twist
The
an
wrestling
ankle
shoe,
or a
you can
knee.
like twist an
I
ankle.
guess I've
pretty
never
well.
seen Sambo shoes.
I've never brought them in.
No.
I don't have them on me
You're
today, I
saying
don't think.
suede bottom?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I
they're
thought
soft.
they were like a wrestling
Do you have yours?
shoe.
Did you bring yours by chance?
I didn't.
I didn't
No.
think of it. Yeah, I'll bring them in
Okay, so
sometime.
Sambo shoes are not wrestling shoes because
They look like it.
yeah, but
So
they're
so
totally
yeah,
not.
yeah. So Sambo shoes or Sambovsky are like the top of it looks like a normal wrestling shoe,
Right.
and it's usually made out of leather, cowhide type, a soft suede material. Okay, but then the bottom of it is not rubber. It's not grippy. Okay, it's smooth, and the reason it's like that now, depending on who you ask, they give slightly different reasons, mind you. But the reason it's like that, at least in part, is because it's sort of like a moccasin. You still feel the ground. You're able to somewhat grip it with your toes, and you don't lose that connection and sensitivity that you might with an actual hard sole shoe. Right. Okay, but in addition, side benefit or deliberate, I don't really know. One of the problems with wrestling shoes, especially when you're working a lot of like foot sweeps and things like that, is they literally grip the mat too much. and somebody will like
Like a
go to
magnet.
foot sweep,
Yeah.
and now like your leg would move, but it doesn't. So what
Right.
buckles? Your knee or maybe your
There's a
ankle.
lot of-
That's why I look at
Right.
that. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. But now that
Right.
makes sense to me.
But yeah, the
Samba
Sama
shoes are
shoot
different.
slides more,
Yeah.
and you know, like some people will argue that like that makes the throws more spectacular. But once you kind of learn how to use them,
Mm-hmm.
you don't find that you slip very much, which is why I
Yeah.
wore them in combat wrestling. You know,
Yeah.
like
and
totally,
there's a lot in Sambo. There's a lot of, I guess more so. There's a lot of spinny throws.
right. So it helps you
A
pivot.
lot more. I mean, there's in judo and all that too, but a lot more so. And they're comfy. So
They are, and like I said, for me, the big thing is
Who's
like
making these Sambo shoes?
Russians mostly.
And so
There are some American
Reebok,
distributors.
Adidas aren't making them.
No.
they should get on it.
Yeah,
should, right?
yeah, that'd be awesome. That would involve us having a slightly more successful sport, maybe with this Olympic inclusion.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, sort of.
sort of.
Yeah, we're closer than we ever have been. Let's put it that way.
That's good.
But yeah, like I said, there's a couple of American manufacturers, but most part you order them from Russia.
Okay.
I've got 2 pair, and I've had.
What colors they come in? All colors?
Typically, only these days you're going to get red and blue
that's
to
what
match
I've
the
seen.
Kurtka. But back in the day, man, I've seen green, purple, black. I mean, like there was quite a bit of variation in it. They don't make the non-competition colors as much anymore. It seems like those are things that guys were getting in trouble for wearing, like green Sambovsky with your red or blue.
I think a
Kurtka.
lot, even the Gracies, a lot of them have cracked down over the past year or two.
Oh, like uniform requirements?
Uniforms, like just white gi only, traditional.
Right.
I saw an interview Helson Gracie had is like, you kind of, it is out of context, but like, you kind of look like a clown, or guys are doing it to look cool. It's like the belt around your waist is what looks cool, or
Right.
doing the technique. And I think there's, I try to wear white gi as much as possible just because I was doing started white gi and I started doing all these other things. It's just flavors, I guess, different flavors of the month. But at our school, we try to let guys, kind of do their own
Have their
thing.
self-expression.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to put it.
It's weird. I'm so of two minds on it because, and this is probably like the competitor in me, like actually talking at this phase, but like there's something cool about going to a competition and you see the competitors and sometimes even the guys in the stands, mind you, but like everyone's in a uniform and they look like they're a team.
Yeah.
So there's like actual value to me psychologically in that team aspect there.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn cool. But then there's that other side of me where it's like, but self-expression and like the freedom to wear what you want. So like, while I personally don't like a strict, like you must wear our gi, only our gi, it must be like this, I do kind of support that for like, if you're going to put a squad out for competition, like if everyone's got like the same warm-ups, the same rash guards, obviously accepting ranked gear and whatnot, and the same gi, that looks super awesome to me.
Yeah. I mean, if it's done right, I mean, I think Caprito is like sponsored by Storm, and those are badass gis.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, I think, yeah, right? Is he?
Yeah, I think he's Storm.
So, I mean, like all of his gis are Storm. I mean, for us at Mineko, he's sponsored by Gameness. Me personally, I'm not a Gameness fan. So we'll probably never get that sponsorship.
Oh yeah, she shot that right to hell.
Yeah, there you
how,
go.
many, how many gamers skis have you had for you to come to that conclusion?
Zero. They don't fit me. They don't make an A. They don't make an A0.
that you like. Gotcha.
No, they don't make an A0.
Oh, like
Oh, at
period.
all?
I don't think so. I mean, every time Mineko's like, I'm going to get you a gi. I'm like, because he wants me to wear it while I teach class, which I get. Okay. But there's no A0. I'm like, he goes, oh, A1. I'm like, all right, well, forget it. I can't fit
Make it
A1.
back. Yeah.
It'd be weird teaching class in A1. But I'm very picky with my gis,
I usually flock towards. I love Fuji.
Fuji makes it good. Yeah.
Especially the Sakai model. We just had a custom make of that. And Ronin. You guys are Ronin brand?
I have heard
Yeah,
of it.
yeah. I don't own one, but I've seen them.
And I all of them. I try them all, but I got a gi class today. I had
Right. You go through them
seven
quick.
days a week. So
Yeah.
Very hard to submit. That's who sponsors us, and those gis.
That is a lovely
Okay,
gi.
yeah.
I love those
Yeah.
gis so much. We're getting some new ones coming in soon, so
I like to hear
I'm
that.
excited. I'm excited.
it's awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I guess I can see. I like uniformity as well. But I can also see people. I mean, there's people in our class that wear green gis.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with
And,
that.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I think though in competition, it should definitely be one of the
More
three.
unity.
Right. Well, in competition, you're only allowed, but at least for IBJJF, obviously,
IBJJF, right.
other organizations have different rules, but you're generally only allowed blue, white, black. Those are your color
But the
options.
blue variations are weird though.
Oh, because they allow navy blue sometimes and sometimes not.
Yeah.
Sometimes not. Yeah, that's where I kind
What shade of blue?
Yeah, what
Yeah.
shade of blue? There's so many different
Right.
shades.
Yeah, I guess there are no shades of black or white that would ever upset anyone.
Right.
I'm sorry, your gi is too faded and gray. You'll have to go get a new one.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it's funny because and again, this is just my weird background speaking probably. In my mind, for me, the iconic part of the jiu-jitsu gi is black because we're not allowed to wear, we wear white and blue gis in judo and we wear blue and red in sambo. So black is for me the one that's totally unique to jiu-jitsu and the one that I enjoy wearing the most because it's I'm at jiu-jitsu. I'm in my black gi.
Right.
Obviously, other people don't come from that background and probably don't think of it that way. And like Hickson, I ain't showing up to a Hickson seminar in a black gi.
No, he'll be the one guy in the room.
How you had Hoyce out, right?
Yes, that was a dream come true, man.
Yeah. How was Hoyce about the gis and stuff?
Did he was
care?
totally cool. Number one, consummate professional.
Yeah.
He just walked on the mat. Everybody that was milling around, before the event started, just shut up and flocked right over to him. He points to me to be his uki and has me hold my hands up. And it was boom, I flashed back right in my head. Wow, this is like watching UFC 1. Same stance. It was surreal, dude.
So crazy.
And, but no, he was no preference. And, as far as I visited, he invited me to his Springfield school. I visited down that way and, everybody's wearing white gi, It was really cool. They also had all the belts, especially the black belts, it'd be a blue bar.
Yeah, he uses the traditional.
Wait, what's that?
Okay, so I'm gonna mess this up, and I don't want to, but okay. So first of all, it used to be a navy blue belt that was used. So he wears a navy blue now instead of black. Okay, and there's some interesting history. The Valencia brothers have an awesome video that details all of this. If you ever want to check it out, just Google Valencia brothers, and you can find, and that's spelled Valente, I believe. They've got an awesome detailed breakdown of how the belt system evolved and changed and whatnot. And there's different bars that are used. There's a red bar. There's a blue bar, and then there's red bar with white stripes, and each one means something different. Okay. Whether you're an instructor, a fighter, or I think it's an instructor that's been through the full instructor's program as black belt, because Elio had devised this fairly comprehensive test that you had to go through. You had to pass certain credentials in terms of his judgment of your character, and you were taught and I wasn't there, but allegedly, you were taught not just technique, but how to teach. So, and I believe that was, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I believe that was the award of the blue bar, I think, is you've passed that, your instructor's credentials.
I think it's part of it. And when I was there, I was talking to...
I hope I didn't mess that up.
No, I was talking to one of their one straight black belt. His name was Jared Jessup, cool guy. He... I asked him, and he goes, or at least his take on it to me was, it was honor Elio Gracie, because that was that's what it sounded like to me. It was his favorite color. That's what
I heard too.
Yeah,
blue. Because he wore a blue belt.
He wore that. Yeah. Hoist was wearing a blue belt when he was at our place, and then when I went to, like I said, Springfield, I saw those guys had that, and that's what I guess was the idea. He didn't go any further on the education side of it, but it was more to honor Elio, which I thought was really cool. Really deep in thought on that. It was cool.
Right.
Yeah. Man, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm so sad I missed that one. Like Hoist, I think the vast majority of people we've had on that are of the correct age, mind you. Some of the younger guys, maybe not so much. But the vast majority of people that are around our age are all oh yeah, I started jiu-jitsu because Hoist Gracie.
Right.
Oh yeah, well, for sure. That's why, and that's a major reason why I had him out. And then afterwards, I took him to lunch, which is super surreal. I figured I'd ask him. He's all he does is it's 7 months out of the year he does seminars. Right. So we went to a local sushi place, and I saw heads peeking up once in a while. I mean, he looks like Hoist Gracie, sounds like, and a couple guys looking like, what's he doing here?
Where'd you take him? You're out in St. Charles?
St. Charles. So this was we held it in Geneva.
Oh, okay.
And there's a Jiu is the name of the restaurant we went to. It was like a small place, and so I think I'd be thinking like in the middle of nowhere, you know.
Right.
Hoist Gracie shows up.
Yeah, what?
That's so funny.
And there are people at the seminar, our seminar, like hiding behind cars. I found out afterwards, and they were like jump. One how I found out guy came in and was like, "Hey, can we sit and like spectate?" You know, like
just fanboying.
Yeah. Which and we don't do that
Right.
for that. It's focused. But when Hoist was heading out, boom, they just like jumped out and
Like followed you or
yeah, and
creepy.
I went to intervene, and Hoist was like, it's totally cool, like laid
He's
back.
like, no,
cool.
this happens a lot.
Yeah, he's like, I got it.
Does. I mean,
that
for
wasn't.
sure.
It was pretty interesting, surreal. Either way,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, I guess he's probably the most recognizable Gracie still.
I would say so,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah,
mean,
like to
the general
people that are
population,
perhaps outside of jiu-jitsu,
Right,
but
yeah.
are still aware of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know for a fact when we went to the Bellator card that there's a massive line because he was doing like a meet and greet signature thing.
Nice.
So yeah. Did not get there in enough time to get through that line. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It's like, I came here for the fights. I'd like to see those.
Yeah, that was a major thing with when I opened the school.
And now this is Olympus.
Yeah, Olympus Jiu Jitsu. That. Yeah, you're asking about the logo.
Yeah,
basically, honestly, long story short, the logo means aspiring to or working towards the best you can be at whatever you're trying to do. So, one guy saw this logo. He's like, "Hey, are you Greek?" I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm more mainly Italian." But the Olympics are kind of based off the concepts even originally, and is the highest.
The highest peak
you can go,
Yeah.
and then the wings obviously symbolizing your journey up to that. So that's literally what the logo means. Besides it, trying to make it look cool.
But also Greek mythology, cool, right?
Exactly.
It looks cool. I mean, it looks cool.
No,
it's
it's
kind of reminds me of Aerosmith a little bit.
Oh, there you go.
nice.
cool.
Yeah, I see that reference too.
Yeah,
That's
right?
nice.
My wife, because I'm you and I shared the geekdom.
Absolutely.
And my wife just just said one day, is like, one of my favorite all-time movies, heroes growing up was 1989 Batman, of course. And I just look, I'm like, oh yeah, right now I'm wearing all black, and I basically got
You got your logo.
Oh,
Yeah,
logo,
you got your
yeah.
bat logo.
I guess
You are the knight.
yeah. But when I opened the school, there wasn't anything specifically in that Tri-City area, and I was a purple belt at the time, and I was like, man, I just wanted to bring something to the area. I grew up in Geneva. So we originally we're in Geneva and past a little over a year now in St. Charles, like 5 minutes difference. And I wanted to bring something in the area where I wanted to create this strong sense of community. Anybody could, most schools are like, anybody could pop in from anywhere in the world.
Sure.
Like our opening day, some guy from competing in Worlds all the times from Venezuela, and you get guys from like other parts of the country here. And but I wanted something where obviously kids, and it's weird. It's always like when you run a school, it's like a supply demand kind of job, So I thought for sure it'd be just like year one, it'd be like wall to wall, just all kid classes.
Yeah.
And actually turn them more to like police officers and
Good.
like SWAT team guys and military.
That's awesome.
I'm even working with a program right now to get like a state certified program going. It kind of. There's a lot of politics involved.
Right.
They want to get people at the departments and stuff. They know they need it. They want it, but there's like a weird political hurdle, and that's what the state certifies.
So what for them? But they can just take the class. Like a police officer can just take a class.
Yeah, on their own time, their own dime. But
you want to make it
like an official, like where the St. Charles Police Force would be like.
Yeah, so when you're talking to like the big wigs and
what's the end goal for that? Like, what's the purpose of doing it that way? What can you achieve more?
It literally gets not only your foot in the door, but you're sitting on the couch with they're serving you it gets you in. I think it's just to see you're not just some schmo or it sounded like it was a workman's comp kind of thing, and it's the more the guys in charge of training that we were talking to, because I was like, hey, we have a like lifetime. Anybody's an officer, veteran, military. I even go and throw fire department, paramedics. They get 20% off. Every,
I've seen you advertise that.
And then every
idea.
6 months, so this February and August, every 6 months, February and August, the whole month, all newcomer officers are the whole month unlimited classes for free. So I have a lot of family that were in the military and law enforcement as well. And I just, as I think a lot of us do, we do honor, respect a lot of what they do. And let me ask, as I talked to a lot of officers that, wow, we really need this, when they see it.
I mean, who needs it more?
They see it more on a daily basis than we do.
Hell yeah.
And they only do, it's like 14 weeks and then they're on the street, working.
It's just, I just feel, I mean, man, I got friends that are police officers, I know a lot of them. But I just feel like, man, that's such a rough profession, to want to do,
Oh, yeah.
And then to not have an outlet,
Right.
is a rough, man. And then it shows when you get pulled over. I haven't been pulled over in a long time, knock on wood. But, when I was younger and I got pulled over, it showed the frustration, the anger. You just could feel it. Like
if
when
you
they
don't
come
have
up
the
to you,
training in
feel it.
something, you're only going to respond to what training you have. So you see it the most when a guy does his like first day sparring or first class. You're like, okay, this guy clearly did last time he did something maybe like junior high wrestling or something, or football, or
gets that frustration, that adrenaline dump, is breathing heavy.
So if you only train, that's where you hear, and this is where I get approached the most about is, the big subject, especially is a lot of shootings and getting the guns out and things like that. It's like, well, what's your training? They only, they don't train a lot, even barely enough on handcuffing techniques, let alone dealing with someone grappling with you. Right. So what do you go to? You got your taser, right? You got your sidearm. So you're going to respond to and go to your training, and officers are going to elevate to whatever that situation being presented to them. So it's a crappy two-way street, but more training will help.
Of course. I mean, the more confidence you have in your abilities to
deal with a situation,
you're gonna think a little bit differently.
Yeah,
you're not gonna be and react a way that you shouldn't react, that you maybe could have thought twice of. And I think being involved in hand-to-hand combat on a semi-weekly basis, if you can do that, would definitely improve your mental thought, when you go into a situation where, it could be stressful.
Right. Because you'll use the level of force that you think is necessary. And you're going to think, like if you're used to rolling around on the ground with a dude who's trying to, submit you or something like that, you're going to be way more comfortable and not, you're not going to be like, okay, the only solution I have here is to shoot this guy. You'd be like, no, like I've been here before. We're okay. Alex talked about that when he was Alex Embry, when he was on the show. I work with a bunch of guys that are cops, and they all talk about like how, not just the confidence, though that is, I think, a really huge part of it. The confidence,
big.
knowing, knowing and feeling safe in it, but like that they do have a different escalation curve on the force.
Yeah,
and I think that's huge.
Yeah.
And so ultimately the goal there is like, because we have guys at pretty much all the schools I train at that are police, but they're all there on their own time, on their own dime. They're not getting any compensation or
steady.
encouragement.
I mean, even when they train, shooting, firearms, even,
periodic at best.
At best.
Or again, they're doing it on their own time for the most part.
And that's the other thing. The idea with doing the state certified version of that is you take it on the road a little bit and start, so that's always been kind of a area I've wanted to help out in. Yeah. And then obviously help, everybody in between, average Joes. I mean, everybody needs it, man. I mean, how much more comfortable you are in de-escalating the scenario than I know what to do right now.
Right, for sure.
Man, I got slept last week. Yeah.
Oh.
How'd you like it?
It was awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
Did you have a dream?
I did start dreaming instantly. It was. I haven't got slept in a long time, man. It's probably since the '90s, and I was rolling with a blue belt,
Oh, slept on the blue belt, and the blue belt slept you, huh?
Very good, man. So
Sounds like a T-shirt.
I was,
Should be,
I do different things with different people in different roles, and sometimes I take a round off, but I'm still rolling. So I'm rolling, and I know how good this kid is, and I'm like, all right, but he's light. He's little like me. His name's Ryan, and I'm like, all right, so I'm just gonna. He's very flexible and does yoga. Is really like he's a tough kid to roll with because he's so flexible. It's hard to get him in stuff. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna, out maneuver him when he slows down because he's he'll slow down.
Catch him in his energy dips.
Exactly,
You're saying
exactly.
Okay.
So I'll let him just kind of like do what he needs to do, and then I'm gonna switch it in.
Doing that old man strategy over here.
Exactly. Because I think Mineko has doing like 7-minute rounds. Okay. And so I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm letting him kind of just do what he needs to do. And he takes my back. I'm like, all right, sweet, no problem. And then he sinks in this like, I don't know what it was really, and he doesn't
that's
know.
the problem.
He doesn't know either. That's the crazy.
That's even worse.
thing.
Okay.
He's like, yeah, I had your collar, and then I just pushed down on your head. So he was choking me, and then he
pushed you into the choke,
and then he pushed my head down into the choke, and I'm like, oh, and then I just
you woke up.
I remember falling asleep, but tapping, and then he's like, dude, he goes, I didn't fall down. He goes, you kneeled up. He goes, you're looking. And I'm kneeling, and he goes, I just look at your eyes, and he goes, you're like not there, but my eyes are open, and I'm just like, and then I started waking, like, and I'm like, I start like, walking on my knees forward. I'm like, wait, what the fuck am I doing here? Like I was full in dream. Like I don't know what, I can't remember what I was dreaming, but it was what I found interesting was that I can dream so fast.
No,
I
instantly.
remember when Josh got slept, remember, by Red Schaefer? And Josh said he instantly slept. And I remember like, wow, that's crazy. But it's true. Like I was instantly dreaming. But that is so odd to me that happens. I wonder, does it
feels longer too, right?
It felt like a while.
So, I don't know how many times you've been slept, but I've been out a lot. Okay. Like not to a stupid degree, but it's just like circumstantially, I fight deep too. Exactly. I fight deep into chokes until I have to tap.
Never tap.
The last time I went out, actually, I take that back because I don't remember. One time, somebody was demoing on me, and I went to tap, and my arm was isolated, and like I should have tapped with my foot. Like I'm experienced, I should know that. But I went to tap my arm, didn't realize I couldn't reach, and it was too late. Okay, so that was embarrassing for me. But then the other time I got slept, my training partner was on my back. And the way he hooked the choke in, I went to tap, and I went like this. He was like, I went to tap him here because where my hand was pinned, and I missed, and I hit myself, and he couldn't feel it. And then like as I was struggling to So what I've found, like I don't have like a perfect comprehensive, set of examples. It's not like I go out to like, let's choke 30 people today and see what they report back for science. But what I found is the deeper I go, like when the guy holds the choke too long, because he's like, why isn't he tapping? I'll just choke him harder.
Right.
And you're already out. The deeper I go, the weirder the shit gets.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Like, obviously, haven't gone too deep. The worst I think ever was probably when Johnny Ho put me out at 10th Planet, and it was just like you heard me go snoring from like across the room. But yeah, like that one in particular, like literally messed with my head for a while afterwards, because I think I went real deep before he realized I was out.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. You can't tell the time.
So you think some kind of like dump of like DMT?
Man, I don't know. Maybe
like life or death. Because how long can you go before you die?
A lot longer than people think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always heard it's like 12 to 15 seconds, but it's got to be a lot longer than that, right? Without
here's
oxygen
the
to your brain.
I don't want to say anything.
I'm not a doctor.
Okay. Well,
there's stuff on
first of all,
drowning people, drowning victims. It was like 5 minutes.
Yeah, but that's like until like there's brain damage that happens after a certain point in time with no oxygen, and then there's actual brain death.
Right.
Okay. So, and that takes a while.
Yeah.
So like choking someone, strangling someone to death actually takes a while, but they pass out beforehand, and it's like, I don't know what the times are exactly, but at the point where they pass out to the significantly longer point where they die, there's still stuff happening that you probably don't want to experience over and over and over again.
Right.
Okay. So like taking a nap, probably not that big of a deal. I don't want to completely downplay it because obviously if you've got a pre-existing medical condition that you don't know about, that could be a real bad way to find out.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. So I don't ever like, tradition notwithstanding within certain arts, I don't ever really like encourage people to willfully go out. But at the same time, there's this part of me that's like, everyone should probably both get slept at some point so they know what it's like so they don't completely friggin' panic if it happens. And the corollary to that is if you've never put anyone out, the first time you accidentally do it,
Right.
most people friggin' panic. They're like, oh my God, what have I done? Is he dead?
Yeah.
Especially since, like, if you haven't at least been around it, like when people start making the snoring noise from the diaphragmatic breathing, people freak. They think they think you're dying. They think they've killed you.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I know experienced martial artists that had never been around it, never had it done, never seen it done to anyone, and like that happens, and they're like, oh my God, and it's just like, dude. It's fine. Calm down. No, I'm not a callous bastard for saying this.
Right.
Like he's going to be okay in like 3 seconds. Just watch.
Right.
It takes like 6 to 10 seconds once that choke's all on, the blood choke. And it takes about the same amount of time for them to come to. My experience
it feels that way usually.
It's just, it's tap earlier. If you can't and you're out, that's where you be a good training partner. Just gotta be conscious and just. I always try to my guys, just especially when it comes to like more so in joint locks.
Well, joint locks.
Tap
early
and anything. It's like, dude, just take that mentally in your head. You got that that's a win, and move on to something else. That dude, I had one dude who's super double jointed his elbows, and I had an arm bar, and it was like starting to fold backwards, but he was double jointed. So that was to him was like good. Problem is, you go like an eighth of inch more, it's going to be a lot of pop. So you just let go and move on.
Right.
Yeah. Like in the gym, you got to get to that point where it's like, I don't need that tap badly enough that I'm going to risk injuring you.
Sure.
But because like again, I don't want to tap too early because I don't want my training partner to get the impression that that's the stopping point.
Right.
So like I know some guys that are afraid of getting injured, not naming names obviously, but afraid of getting injured. So like they'll tap way early on an arm bar, and I'm like, like there's a 6 to 12 inches of space that you can still move in there that there's still late game counters and escapes, so like I'm always trying to find that perfect balance because I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to hurt other people, Well, I do want to hurt other people. I don't want to injure other people.
Word that correctly.
Yeah. It's important. But yeah, and then chokes, like, not that I don't give a fuck, but it's just like, I trust you're not going to kill me. I'm gonna go as late as I can because it's not gonna do any real damage.
Right. And that's good training too. Yeah, for you, both guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go deep in chokes. Yeah. I got to. Ever since I trained over at Seraphin's, and
the straw. You're going to tell the story?
Straw.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man. I mean, it's just right there. Like, Seraphin is fucking, he was so calm, man. And ever since then, I'm like, that's where I got to be. I got to go so deep and just like breathe out of a straw. When he told me that, I'm like, oh, it makes so much sense. Thank you. Thank you.
So is it his fault that dude put you out? Is that what you're saying?
No, not at all. But it was great. And shout out to a lot of black belts that just popped off after the new year or before the new year.
Oh, yeah.
You've got Josh Bassini, 10th Chicago.
Yeah. Nice.
You have Blake Classman, Seraphin.
Yeah.
And then also Nikki Sullivan. Got her black belt.
Just after the new year,
Just
though.
after the new
year.
year.
Yeah.
But recently.
Just got it from Andre.
And I don't know if I'm forgetting anybody else, but that's
we're definitely forgetting people.
Yeah, but that's the ones that stick out in my mind recently that I saw.
The guests that immediately came on. Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. It's great.
Yeah, I'm super happy for all of them.
Yeah.
I was so upset. Like it was like an emotional moment for me because
what?
I knew Eddie was coming into town.
Right.
He was doing the seminar. There was a possibility in my mind. There was a very good chance, but it wasn't set in stone or anything. I'm like, man, there's a really good chance he's going to give Josh his black belt, but I can't be there because I already signed up for No-Gi Worlds and everything. And I was convinced, based on the pre-schedule, I was like, okay, I'm probably fighting Saturday. So I have to be in California Saturday. So I made all my arrangements and everything.
Was that when he got it? When you were away?
And then the schedule got released,
man.
and I was fighting Sunday. And I'm like, shit, I could have been there for it, and I would have been had I not already had the flight and the Airbnb and everything. Yeah.
What are you gonna do, man?
So I really wanted to be there. I really wanted to see it.
I'm sure.
I'm super proud of him. It was an awesome accomplishment.
Yeah. A lot of 10 Planet black belts out there now, man. That's you can see how much it's growing now.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're just popping off like crazy. Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Doing a lot of work.
A lot of work, that Eddie Bravo, man. Whew.
Speaking of guys out, we got your boy coming out February 9th.
Hey, let's not skip. You've got a judo seminar coming up this month, right?
I was going to go through the whole list.
Yeah, let's start there. We'll go chronologically.
Let's do it.
We have to leave at like 4
Are we running out of time already?
I mean, we have 20 minutes, I think. But you've been there before. You've been to Schaumburg, this place?
Yeah, it's like 30 minutes from here, man.
You sure it's 30?
I mean, we'll check traffic before we commit to that, but yeah, we got like a 30-minute drive.
Because we have this light feather open mat.
We've been talking about this for a while now.
So Sean Richmond,
I
Don Zidane, and Javier, we've been talking about getting like a little guy open mat.
And Sean finally pulled it all together.
Sean basically started his thread on Messenger. He's like, okay, guys, I'm just going to put this out there. What do you think after the new year? This is like last month. And then everyone just started adding people to this Messenger whatever thread, and now it's today.
Right.
So
nice.
I'm pretty
awesome.
excited.
So we're running from here to there.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited. I haven't rolled with Javi in a long time.
we're gonna find out what's changed.
Yeah, we will. We will, sir.
Just check with them. I'm like, can I heel hook this guy?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Oh, we do heel hooks in the gi? Oh shit. It's gonna get real.
Oh yeah, no. So go. Sorry, lay it on me.
I'll do all in one breath. No.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Micro Machines man over here.
Good pull. No, next Saturday, the 12th, January 12th, we have Rick Underser. He's a third degree black belt in judo. He's the head coach at the Yorkville Judo Club under red and white belt Bob Corrin, a master. And that's gonna be awesome. Like the whole it's a 2-hour seminar. The whole first hour is all obviously stand up. There's setups for things more particular, grip fighting, kuzushi, breaking balance, all their kind of specific drills and things like that. And then the second hour, I'm super stoked about all of it, but even more so, they're going to show their ground game, their nuwaza, and their pinning techniques.
Yeah, Osikomi.
They have some Osikomi got some killer pinning techniques, and it just everything just balances. My whole point of my school at this, since day one really, is to make my guys well rounded as possible. Yeah. I know I like that. Any other job or vocation you're in, the more well-rounded you are, the more valuable you are, the more knowledge you are. So that's who we got coming out. Super stoked. And then I didn't want to cram all these in, but I had a super killer opportunity. Lavelle Marshall, Shui Zhao, I guess we'd call that master or specialist or
master's fair.
Yeah,
I don't know if he would appreciate that, but yeah, like
Sifu,
yeah, he's high level,
super high level, super awesome guy. I found him through Vlad Kulikov. So he's getting ready to move to Inner Mongolia for about 2 to 3 years. What? He's going to learn from these badass Mongolian wrestlers, which I finally got my Mongolian wrestling outfit.
You ordered one? Wow.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Look, not the most mass. Well, at least I'm sure I'm a badass Mongolian guy, but me, it don't look great.
But like, to be fair, okay, like this is one that's not always appreciated. Okay. So the bulk uniform is a very tight set of shorts.
Okay.
And it's like the easiest.
Like, are we talking like 1970s type shorts, like tight? Are we talking Valley Tudo?
We're talking like on a beach in Brazil.
The beach in Brazil look. There you
go. What's that called? I can't remember. It starts with an S. But
Speedo.
No. There's like a specific term for it.
A banana hammock.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's accurate. But yeah, so that and
perhaps
then
the most embarrassing part of uniform would be.
Right, but that's not the weirdest part, though.
Yeah,
like to most people, it's like okay, you're in like a Speedo type thing, and then with
which
boots
you fully
on,
grip. It's like,
right, yeah, you grab like you do belt grips with the top of it and underneath.
in the leg
Like,
loops.
to lift.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Wedgie time.
Yeah. So that
Is
probably
this
looks
like the Turkish wrestling?
different, very different. Okay. Don't go there.
Oh my
That's a
God.
conversation
Okay.
for another day.
The Zodog, the top.
Is what looks super weird to most people.
Yes.
Okay, because it's almost like it's an inverted vest, kind of.
It's basically there's
I'm
two
picturing
types.
a lot of village people in my head right now.
You
just so
know what? You would fit right in wearing that. But let me just the history real quick. I got into watching the Mongolian judo guys.
Right, there's
and
a
I'm
lot of crossover
man,
there.
Like their grips are like killer, and they got these like front uchimatas, and I'm like, what's up with that? And they're like, oh, their background book, and I'm like, what's that? So learning more about it is really cool. So it's like like you said, open vest. The back is like a reverse vest, like you said. There's two types: long sleeve and there's like a short sleeve. That one's more made of like leather,
more like a mid sleeve.
Yeah. But anyway, the grips are totally different, insane. So you start grabbing like jiu-jitsu gis or even no gi. I mean, the grips are just and the setups are awesome. Right. But the history of it is amazing. Why it's totally open chest. And it's open chest because way back in the day, like we're talking like Genghis Khan years, they would hold competitions. And the story, have you heard this?
Carry on.
Yeah, the story with at least the story I got is this person just wrecked everybody and won. Right, went through everybody, and at the end, he won the final championship round. Ripped off the standard vest back then because they didn't have open chest vest, and it was a female. She ripped open. Everybody saw breasts, and she's like, "Yeah, we can do this shit too." Wrecking house, and since then, it's become like, okay, let's make this like a more for sure thing. Open chest uniform from now on.
So only men can do it?
Well, females do it too now.
I've never personally seen female Mongolian wrestling, which is not to say that it doesn't exist, but I've not seen it.
But is that why they did it? So they won't get shown up by women?
So I've heard that story too. I have no idea of the veracity of it, but that's definitely a legend that I've seen out there.
The three things that make you a man, right? And
horsemanship, archery, wrestling.
Oh, is that the deal?
Yeah.
Those fucking Mongolians, man.
They take that shit seriously. Like
not fucking around.
Here's the thing. It's totally cool when somebody tells me like, I'm going to the motherland of my art to train in it. And it's like, oh, cool. You're going to Brazil or you're going to go spend some time in Tokyo or something like, no.
Yeah.
Inner Mongolia.
Okay.
That is some dedication.
Yeah,
for sure.
That is great.
So anyways, sorry to trail off, but that's why I was like, hey, you got any openings? And he's like, pretty tight. Somehow we were able to work out January 26th.
Oh, okay.
That's a
Saturday. So you got the 12th?
The 12th, right, and then 26th. I didn't want to do them back to. I was going to push them off later in the year,
right?
But so luckily we were able to get him in,
nice.
And he's a super cool dude, and he's going to give us just a ton of really good solo drills, not just everything. Mongolian wrestling. He's come out for Shui Jiao, of course. That itself is interesting. It's like a 6,000-year-old art. It's kung fu. It predates what we know as kung fu. And actually, going off to what we would consider old, 16th century, made its way to Japan, and they kind of took it their own route and created what we know as sumo wrestling. So it actually way back in the day, like we're talking, like it's been around 6,000 years, and it's pretty badass. If today the police, the SWAT, the military in China still use it, the techniques, but they would have yearly competitions where whoever the champions were in the respective things would be the royal guard. That's how the emperor would get his royal guard. So I imagine you got a job, you just whooped a bunch of dudes' asses, and you got this job. Next year, you got to go defend your job security by doing it again.
Right. Yeah, only returning world champions are allowed to guard the president. That's basically what we're talking about is their setup.
That's pretty cool. I can get on board with that.
That's pretty wild, right? And it makes sense,
Fuck yeah, it makes sense.
But yeah, like obviously I have no control of what he's going to show, and I shouldn't. But like, if I could do the seminar, I'd be totally happy with absolutely nothing but the solo drills and cracking.
The belt cracking. I can't
all
wait.
that stuff is amazing and so utterly unique to Shui Jiao. Yeah. And it's like they've got awesome throws too. You obviously want to get in all the amazing throws and
how
whatnot.
long is the seminar?
It's going to be 2 hours.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 hours. Some guys just
is there sparring at seminars like that? or not really?
I don't know. We'll have to ask Lavelle.
You don't want to be thrown by the bus.
I don't. That guy's.
But I'm just in general, like judo seminar. Do they spar at all? Is there sparring?
It depends. Even like even with jiu-jitsu, you don't always spar afterwards. You know what I mean?
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I frown upon that.
We know you feel that way.
Say, hey, I paid the money.
Well, I'm just saying.
Do you want me to only do you want me to like set up a page where it's like, will there be rolling at your seminar? Yes, no, and then we'll determine whether Zito's coming based on that.
Pretty much, yeah.
There you go. Okay, get on it. And so that we have that January 26th, and then February 9th, we got your boy Javi coming out.
What?
He's going to be doing a Sambo seminar.
Sambo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I'm sure we could do a little everything, and we plan on having guys out more than once, but it'd be really good to get the Sambo side of things in.
Inevitably, I almost always wind up showing stuff that crosses over because, if your guys are going to be competing specifically in Sambo, obviously we want to give them slightly different stuff to work on than if they're going to be using Sambo in a jiu-jitsu context. Right. So, I've already got well in mind what I want to show, and I'm going to hopefully not contradict anything that anyone else has shown.
Well, Javi's an awesome teacher, awesome instructor, man.
Yeah.
I miss his leg lock club so much, man.
Yeah.
I'm because there's a lot more brown belts at our school.
You getting knee barred a lot?
No, I'm doing it on them. Yeah. 'Cause now I'm like, well, hey, can we do brown belt rules? And they're like, yeah, sure. I'm like, all right,
it
I'm
opens
fucking
it up.
going leg locks all day.
Yeah.
So, which is good for our school, because they're not used to seeing them, as much, and I'm like, I'm trying to remember. What you've showed me in years ago. I'm like, it's coming back.
It is years now. Gosh.
It's years, dude. I know. It makes me so sad because I'm like, I used to be so much better at some of this stuff. And now it's like.
Right. It's just lack of repetition.
Yeah. If you don't, rep it out.
Yeah.
Just like anything else, you got to use the skill and rep it out to.
And specifically, I love the Sambo leg lock setups.
Like from standing.
Yeah. Or even the leg lace. Not the reap, but straight on leg lasso.
Okay.
It just flows, man. It's like you always tell the guy. I think Danaher had a good Joe Rogan podcast thing of like, it's just a good way to put it. Like pass the legs or tack the legs.
Yeah.
You start doing one, it opens up the other, or this guy's your side control, he's turned into you, or how about this? You're in a regular armbar, standard armbar. Guy pops the elbow out, starts turning top, boom, you switch right to a knee bar. Yeah. It's just true flow.
Yeah, a big part of when I teach leg locks in particular, but the general teaching style, I guess.
And you do allow video recording at your seminars, right?
Yeah, of course. Okay, yeah, I mean,
because we talked about it at our school. I talked about bringing you out for a seminar. In our no-gi class.
Sure.
And
I teach leg locks in the gi too.
I understand that, but for us, it would probably be
best in no-gi.
Best in no-gi. Sure. And I was like, hey, I'm sure we can video it. And
this way
we have material to play off of.
There's never. I mean, like. I'm cautious about letting people record classes only if I'm doing something where it's like, guys, I'm working on this. It's not ready for prime time. I'm showing it to you because I want your input and I want you guys to know what I'm working on and what to look for and whatnot. So that kind of stuff I'm not keen on releasing.
But like the drills and stuff like that.
Stuff that I do all the time that I'm already proficient in, that's A game or whatnot. Yeah, no, 100%. Record that. It does me no good and it saddens me when I go and teach a seminar and then, like somebody invites me back or comes out to one of my classes and it's like, well, we were over this and you obviously haven't repped it because you don't remember it or whatnot.
Right.
Yeah. Like I'm a strong proponent of like whenever possible, record the seminars. The recording is better than just the notes. Definitely do take notes and make notes from the videos when you watch them again. But yeah. So absolutely.
Good stuff.
Yeah. I strongly encourage that.
Yeah.
As long as I also have the Riley Bodycomb based statement of like just because I said it before doesn't mean I won't learn something that may change that. Riley says it all the time. He goes, "Listen to Riley now, not Riley then."
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Older, wiser, new techniques.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So we were pretty excited kicking the year off like that. It just so happened to be like back to back to back. But it's fun that way, and it's all different stuff. Good cross training. We got some guys went all three. Some guys like, I can go in one day. It's the same difference, and I've kind of booked the rest of the year out. I guess you heard it here first. I could tell you, we got the first Saturday of April. What day is that?
I don't know. I don't have my calendar in front of me. Everyone whips out their phone simultaneously. So let's see who can get to a calendar first. We're timing you.
All right, April 6th April 6th from 10 to 12, we will have Vlad Kulikov coming back out.
Oh, nice.
Teaching us a seminar. And there's more fun in the lineup for later in the year, but I'm going to save something for later.
Definitely do. You got to have your secrets.
Yeah, you got to have secrets. But definitely people should tune into that. That's the other thing I wanted. Like, our gym's kind of in my hometown area. I wanted to bring jiu-jitsu, something I love to do in the place I grew up and all that, helping all these other people out. But like, we're also, like, for example, last year we had Hoist Gracie, we had Vlad out. This year, start the year off, 3 things right in a row. And then, like I said, we had Vlad, and there's
Other stuff in the works.
Some big cool stuff. Is that a good way to put it?
I can see how much you want to say
I
something.
do.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't
say that.
it.
Say that. Yeah.
He's trying to say Health Gracie's coming to him.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
But he's not saying it
That's
right
the
now.
plan.
Go the other
Too soon.
way. Yeah.
No. But because I've been to your spot, you've got a nice spot. There's lots of space, and you're in there with a CrossFit.
Yeah.
Right?
Tri-Cities CrossFit.
Right.
Really good, really cool people. Been with them. They got in there a year ago, October. Mm-hmm. We got in there literally the next month.
Okay.
In that location, because we were about 3.5 years.
You have the same space, or
no difference? This is a different space than we started with.
Building.
Same building. Yeah, we're kind of like more in the front when you walk in.
Okay.
And they got this massive space in the back with all their CrossFit gear and stuff. So yeah, it's a really cool.
how much mat space do you have?
We have 900 square feet, so like 30 by 30. I got things lined up now. I'm wanting to do a judo drop floor.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Very nice.
I wanted to do that. This is for my students, but teaching 7 days a week is it's also a
Takes a
personal
toll a bit.
reason.
Yeah, no, man, I've been on some sprung floors. Nothing compares to the Kodokan that I've ever been on, because that's just both amazing and like super well engineered.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a sprung floor, whether it's with actual springs or tires or foam. Foam's probably the easiest of those to set up. But man, it makes a difference. Like especially when guys are first learning to fall and they're not super confident, and then you toss them and they're like, oh, that was fine, because it was like landing on a cloud.
I mean, just rolling on mats that are like, for me, like just
that are like right on concrete.
That are on it's a rougher. It
bit, yeah.
It takes a bit. Even if it's 2-inch, if it's a 2-inch zebra mat and it's on concrete, it's a rougher roll, man. Than an elevated floor.
Puzzle mats on hard concrete is a pretty rough roll.
Fuck that.
But I don't
brutal.
complain about that too much. Like that's still better than
something.
actually being right on the concrete or.
Let's just go around the grass.
Yeah. Man, I've been there.
I've been there too, man. Fuck yeah.
That's something I always wanted to do was like back in I don't know, grammar school, you have field day. I always want to do something.
Jiu-Jitsu field day.
Just grappling field day.
Yeah.
Like over here, you have like gi, over here, no gi, of course, which we do at a regular competition. But maybe over here, you got, okay, this is takedowns only. Over here,
hey,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
you bring Laval in. I mean, like you could have bulk day, and you probably lose a lot of students, but that is all throwing on the grass, no mats.
Because
Mongolia.
grass might not be that bad.
I mean, yeah, it's not that bad. It's certainly not like throwing them onto a bunch of rocks.
Certainly not.
I see like a common thing. Well, of course, sumo wrestling, but super big guys for that. But you ever see like Korean Caesareum?
Caesareum, yeah.
What's that?
That you can.
I mean, I don't want to insult our Korean friends and listeners, but like the easiest way to explain it is it's kind of Korean sumo. Okay. They wear a different uniform, which you're allowed to. You wrap your hand in it.
Yeah, it's like a belt.
A belt
Figure
sash.
eights around your right
thing.
leg and waist, and your left hand goes inside the right leg loop, and his vice versa, and it's all like trips, hip throws.
Yeah, there's some really cool elevations. Yeah, it's fascinating. It's a very like above and beyond the equipment being different. Like the style of throwing that results from it is very, very different, because it's all like. Again, it's all very much like sumo or any other belt wrestling style, where that's like your main lifting point is you're accessing their hips directly. But and again, this is
really cool.
Is a throwing art style of wrestling, not necessarily like a pinning mat work style. So like your objective is to launch the guy.
It's just so interesting. Like you doing a lot of cross training and you just start seeing like, all right, here's this jiu-jitsu, okay? And then here's sambo, and here's Caesarean, like we just mentioned, and you see a lot of these things. Okay, there's some similar things here. Like an armbar is an armbar, but maybe the entry or the setup's different.
Setups are different, yeah.
And what's interesting is like take the full spectrum of each art we just kind of mentioned. They all have kind of like these. It's inside leg trip.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, an outside leg trip. All these like actual techniques that are in each art. That's when you kind of realize that's the go-to shit.
Right. Yeah.
Like
if it's crossed so many cultures and found its way into so many rule sets, it's probably pretty prime material.
Yeah. Yeah. I always thought that was probably the most interesting aspect. One day I like to do like a little grappling around the world kind of mini seminars and kind of introduce more things like that. I don't think I can get too many guys into the Mongolian wrestling. I just ordered a.
I can't wait to see this outfit. I want to.
I'll show you pictures of it. Yeah.
I'll be googling it for sure.
So you know, like I like competing in a diverse number of rule sets, and I had actually talked myself into. I'm going to try sumo. But what I did not realize is they only have 2 weight classes.
Yeah,
and if I recall correctly, because it's in kilograms and I'm going to screw it up, but I believe the weight classes are under 180 pounds and above 180 pounds.
It's a pretty big gap.
I'm just like, man, I want to say I can do this, but giving up
just
50 pounds.
I just ordered my first like.
Right, yeah,
sumo
no,
belt.
I've done sumo sparring, but like, to try and actually compete in it, I'm like, man, that's gonna be rough.
You think?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, pretty big weight difference.
Yeah.
Are we doing any guest technique?
I believe we are.
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
All right, because let's get. We gotta get going.
As per usual, I'm losing track of time here. Yeah. Okay.
So Tom, where can people find you?
Both electronically and physically.
Yeah, electronic. Well, we're on all the social media, but as far as website, www.olympusjj.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, just facebook.com/OlympusJJ.
Yeah.
We're kind of that's the best way to kind of get a hold of us on things like that.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming out.
Hey, thanks for
nice
having me.
meeting you.
It's awesome.
We'll go do
Nice
some
meeting you too,
technique.
guys.
Sounds good.
We'll go do some rolling.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so excited, dude.
He is. He did none of the work. It was all Sean.
All right, we'll see you guys later. Bye.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Very Hard to Submit. Go to vhtsny.com and check out their kimonos, compression gear, and apparel. This is a brand we are excited to be supported by. Their gear is high quality with a clean design. Go to vhtsny.com and see for yourself. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. For more information about Grappler Union Podcast, you could visit us at our website at grapplerunion.com. You can follow us on Instagram at Grappler Union. Please like us on Facebook. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes. And all of our episodes are available on our YouTube channel. Say what?
Be sure to subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe to all that shit. You got to do another take, right?
Oh.